Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. In today's video we're going to create an authentication manager for our SwiftUI project. We'll create a very simple one, yet very effective. If you like the video, please hit the subscribe button. I also have a Patreon page where you can find the full code of this project and the article as PDF version. Okay, first of all, let's create an LA context extension. We will create this extension in order to recognize the type of biometric authentication available for your device. I created the enum biometric type to narrow down all the possible kind of authentication that your device can present. Since we're working with iPhone, we only have Face ID and Touch ID, and everything else is none. The biometric type variable will return the type of biometric type available for your device. Okay, now let's build our real manager, the authentication manager. Let's import our local authentication and let's make it observable. Very well, now let's build a pair of inner object, a struct for the auth error, conforming to the error protocol, and an enum that will keep the track of our login state with two cases, logged or not logged. Of course, it will be backed by an auth state variable. As usually, I prefer to divide the logic of our classes, our object, inside the extension. For instance, here I created an extension dedicated to the public API. The first public API will be the getDevice biometric type that will return the possible biometric type available for your device. For this function, I like to use the full power of the new async await system released by Apple, so I have to write a little more code and we'll see later why. Let's wrap everything inside the do try catch block, and the code here is pretty straightforward. As mentioned before, I wanted to use with check throw in continuation in order to use the new async await way with an old closure approach. As you can see, all the continuation must resume, returning the type of our result, that is a bool or an auth error. That's the reason why we created the auth error type at the beginning of the class. The local authentication Apple's API returns with a success or an error. So here we need to check if there is a success or an error and return the right result. Note also that in case of success or error, we are updating our auth state variable using logged or not logged. Very well, now let's create another function, cancel authentication, that simply will change the auth state variable. Okay, our manager is done, and since we wanted to control the whole application, we can inject it inside our main app file, inside the environment. Of course, all the previews will need to extract the object from the environment in order to work properly. Okay, now the UI logic will be very simple and will be made all in the content view. So basically we will show a logged view or not logged view. So let's build them inside this file. So we'll have two views, a not logged screen and another view logged screen. Okay, it's time to modify our content view with a switch that will present one or the other screen. It will be connected to our auth state from the auth manager in order to be always synchronized. So now let's update our notlog screen, adding a button with an icon. The icon will be a system icon that will show the type of authentication available for our device. So we are building it right now using the getDevice biometric type from our auth manager. And of course, the button needs to be connected to our API, public API from Auth Manager. The result will be analyzed using a switch, and we will print the outcome of the procedure. In a real app, you may want to connect it to a more complex logic, probably. Inside our logged in screen, we'll make something similar and connecting the other public API from our manager. Very well, everything is done, so it's time to run our app and test it. Now we are using a simulator, so we are going to enroll our Face ID. Let's try it, and oops, we have a crash. Of course, we have a crash because we need to update our info list with a privacy key. Let's do it right now with a simple text. Very well, everything is working as expected. And now we will try also the older device with Touch ID to show you the different icon. Okay, very well. So as a bonus, I would like to show you how to implement a very simple and naive session timer. And basically our app will stay logged for a certain amount of time. After that, it will be automatically logged out. Very well, in order to perform all this logic, I have to create another extension for the time handling. As stated before, it will be a very simple version, so all the data will be stored inside the user default. So let's create a key, and let's create a function that will get our last login date. Then we'll get other functions that will remove this data from the device and will update it. The core of the logic will be made inside this function getAuthState. Basically, it will check the time passed since the last time you have authenticated, and if the time delta is more than 60 seconds, 1 minute, it simply logs out. To connect all this logic, we need to create a timer and set it inside the init, and stop it inside the init. As stated before, this is a very naive implementation of this solution. So don't use it for your app, it's just to show you the power of the observable feature. The timer will be fired every 10 seconds, so the app every 10 seconds will check if the user is logged in or not. And if 1 minute passed, we will log out. Refactory here just to avoid the duplicated code. Very well, now let's start our app, speeding up the time, and let's check the debugger. As you can see, seconds are passing and we are still logged, but very soon we'll be logged out automatically. There it is. Everything is working as expected. So thank you everybody for watching, and remember to subscribe and if you like to support my Patreon page. Thank you.